Now at 5, we're keeping a close eye on the looming deadline for healthcare workers to be fully vaccinated against COVID-19 or have an exemption to be able to keep their jobs. This could also mean fewer people to take care of you if you need medical help. Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight for KOIN 6 News at 5. I'm Elizabeth Din.
And I'm Ben Tilkin. Jeff is on assignment. The Oregon State Nursing Board is meeting right now to discuss whether it'll change its rules to possibly take action against nurses if they don't have their COVID shots or an exemption starting Monday.
Now let's get to our Lisa Balick. She is monitoring this meeting very closely. And Lisa, what did they decide?
Well, they are in the final throes of discussing what to do, because right now what they are looking at is saying that, look, we will investigate complaints. If somebody comes to us and says, hey, I know of somebody in nursing who is not vaccinated, these rule changes would say, hey, we will investigate and possibly put in some sanctions, although they're not saying in these rules what those sanctions could be. But there is a whole range of options if they do find somebody who's in nursing and not vaccinated. Now, no details on what happens, though, but it could range from a reprimand to suspension and fines or losing a license for what they're calling derogatory conduct, violating the governor's order. But a staff member of the board told me today they're not initiating a check of who is or who is not vaccinated. A complaint would have to be sent into the board, and the board would investigate. A nurse would have a hearing in private. What happens in the meantime if somebody is under investigation? Are they put on leave by their employer? What's their status if they're working?
We have no control over what their employer may or may not do. All investigatory and all investigations are confidential. So the employer may or may not know it's even occurring.
And then if somebody files a complaint, can they file that complaint anonymously?
They can.
Now, the state nursing board licenses 72,000 registered nurses in Oregon, 19,000 CNAs, and about 6,000 LPNs. I checked the most recent state vaccination numbers a short time ago and found a range from 72% of certified nurse assistants vaccinated up to 88% of the nurse practitioners. I also found out Oregon's other healthcare regulatory boards like doctors, dentists, chiropractors are also putting these vaccination rules in place. Now, again, they are not saying that, look, that we're definitely going to put in sanctions against people, but they will investigate. So in other words, somebody can contact them by phone, by email. The same thing with the Oregon Health Authority. I check with them saying, look, if somebody says, hey, I'm working with somebody next week and I know they're not vaccinated, you can also go to OSHA, file a complaint with them, a couple of different ways to let people know, look, I'm not comfortable working with people who are not vaccinated, and investigations will get underway. Live in downtown Portland, Lisa Balick, KOIN 6 News.